to episode 104 of Checkpoint Chat. My name's Alessandro Barbosa. I'm joined, as always, by Matty Figueira.
That is me, 104. We made it.
We made it.
How did we get here from the comfort of our chairs? How many episodes have we done remotely now? It's been...
I think we started on 91 or 2, round about there.
I'm never going to see you again. This is the destiny we're destined to live. I'm going to look at you through a webcam.
That means almost a tenth of our episodes have been done remotely.
Remotely? Shit.
A tenth? Well, that's crazy.
That's a lot. I can't believe how... that it's June, actually.
Yeah.
We're basically in June. And that the year's over. It's all downhill to... It's all downhill to 2021
I think there's
now.
a Twitter account that keeps track of like the percentage that we're through the year, and it only said like 46% the other day, and I was like, how?
Whatever, it's basically 50%.
2020 has felt like 2,000 years already.
Yeah, well, last night I was driving with Lenska to get a little McFlurry from McDonald's because I was snacky.
And you've got that one right by you.
Yeah, there's one in Rosebank and one in Victory Park. We went to the one in Victory Park, and driving up, I was like, we ran up this hill in a race in February, which was, it simultaneously feels like a lifetime ago and not so long ago. But I mean, shit, it's been 4 months since.
It's definitely been a long time ago. Definitely. Yeah. Damn, how was your McFlurry?
Oh, it was divine.
What did you get? Do they only make Oreo McFlurries now? Like, I feel like there is no other flavor.
I don't know. When McFlurries came out back when I was a wee child, Astros was my flavor, and then I don't think they do that anymore.
I think they made like a crunchy flavor as well. They like shredded up some crunchy. Yeah, but there's like, I know overseas you get like Smarties and shit like that. But here it's just, I mean, Oreo is really good.
Oreo is great.
Did you know that you can ask them for like chocolate sauce on it for free?
No.
Yeah,
but so now I know.
If you get an Oreo McFlurry, you'd be like, can I have an Oreo McFlurry with chocolate sauce? Same price.
And they'll
just douse that chocolate sauce on there. Or strawberry sauce or caramel or whatever.
I'm going to go get one after this episode.
So good.
Straight up.
So good. I love McFlurries. I don't care how fake that ice cream is. I think it's dope.
I don't care either. It was good enough that yesterday I was like, I've got a craving. Well, let's drive. And we went for a little drive-by.
Have you ever had the apple pie from McDonald's?
Yes, I haven't had it for years, but I have had it before.
Whenever I get ice cream from McDonald's, my mom asks me for a sundae and the apple pie. And I had a bite the other day, I think for like the first time. It's not bad. It's incredibly sweet though. Holy shit.
It's very sweet.
It feels like that pastry on the outside is just like caked in sugar before it's fried.
It's made of sugar, and then the insides, those apples ain't apples. It's just sugar cubes.
Yeah, it's just sugar cubes disguised as apples.
It's apple flavored sugar cubes.
It's actually fried bug snacks.
Oh my god, bug snacks. I don't have the tune in my head. Don't do it. No. Damn it. That trailer, so good.
So good. Did you watch that video with that 5-year-old reacting to it?
No.
I need to send it to you. It's Jeff Bacala, who's one of the hosts on Giant Bomb's Beastcast. He has a 5-year-old son, and he basically got his son to provide voiceover for the whole trailer, and it is the most wholesome thing I've ever watched in my life. Like, at the beginning, he sees the strawberry come to life, and he's like, that strawberry's alive. My strawberries aren't like that. I'm just like, it's so cute.
Right in the heart.
It's so adorable.
I love the random tweets that have come out of that trailer. It's like it's been a week, but I'm still thinking about bug snacks.
Oh man, I'm still thinking about that game daily at this point. And it's like even weirder because it's like I saw an interview on US Gamer about what the game's about, and I think like people don't actually really know.
No one knows
what it's about. I saw one of the devs even, because the headline was like, "Oh, we know more about bug snacks," and he like quote tweeted.
I saw that. It's like, no, you don't.
yeah. So I'm like, oh shit. What is this game?
It's funny because, I mean, there are times when a trailer plays and it's hit or miss. But with Bugsnax, it is so weird because it is one of the trailers I'm like, this could completely miss the mark for some people. But it seems everyone just enthralled with this random trailer about
bugs.
Food, like
Bugs
in
and
bugs.
snacks. Yeah.
Bug snacks.
I think a lot of it obviously has to do with the fact that it, debuted during the PS5
Yeah.
thing. I think if the trailer had just come out like randomly, it wouldn't have got the thing. But it's like so many people are watching that reveal that it's like, holy shit, what is this game? It could be if it's I'm not saying the gameplay is going to be the same or whatever, but it could have the same impact as like Viva Pinata on the 360, where it was also like a game that was a system seller and that got more people to play it, who then realized, oh shit, this game's actually fucking awesome. It could be the same thing for Bug Snacks.
That's cool.
It's
I
cool.
think it's also in the name though, Bug Snacks, and it's spelled with an X.
I didn't realize until much after the
Bug
fact
snacks.
that when that walrus at the beginning eats the strawberries, her hand becomes strawberries. I didn't realize that.
It's like everything you eat or touch impacts your body in some ways. I don't know.
I just thought the strawberries like repopulated on her hand. I didn't realize part of her hand had become strawberries.
Actual
That's why I was
strawberries,
confused. Yeah.
So, but I mean, just think about it. Okay, we've seen the trailer. What will the game actually be about?
Well, from the interview, it sounds like you're sent to this island to document the Bug Snacks, but the person who invited you there has gone missing, so you got to find them as well. So
Okay, but so there's a premise, but I mean, do you like what is the gameplay? Do you eat strawberries and get strawberry hands so you can climb up some ledge? Like I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Like, do you have to eat certain Bug Snacks to like access certain areas of the island and stuff? It is first person apparently.
Okay. So
Yeah.
eat a bowl of spaghetti so you can let yourself down off a cliffside with your spaghetti arms. Like,
What's your favorite Bug Snack from the trailer already?
I don't know. My favorite bit actually is at the end when you see all the little critters run out. They're all just snacks.
Yes.
It's so funny.
I like the Cinnabon snails. I think they're very cute.
A Cinnabon snail. Oh, that sounds simultaneously delicious and awful.
Yes. I think
See,
it's
if
a
it's just
really
Cinnabon.
cool like combination of
Cinnabon snails.
Cinnabon snail. I think it's very cute. But yeah, as you can see, we've spent the intro of this episode talking about Bug Snacks. So clearly, it's still on the mind.
Good trailer. Good trailer.
Yeah, very good trailer. Very excited for that game.
But how now said we started an intro actually talking about video games.
I know. I mean, it's quite.
You can just segue from video games to video games. Wow,
it's quite unheard of, really. It really is. But yeah, this is Checkpoint Chat. We talk about video games, as you can tell, just like Bug Snacks.
Sometimes we start talking about video games and we just carry on talking about video games.
If you got that tune in your head, I'm glad. I mean,
glad.
The world is such a dire place right now that having the Bug Snacks tune stuck in your head is actually a blessing in disguise, really.
And if you haven't seen the Bug Snacks trailer, do yourself a favor. You're missing out.
It is so good. So good. You just need to Google that. It's like my mom's favorite video game trailer right now. Every time we meet someone new, she's like, oh, you got to see this game. I'm like, oh my God.
Mom, you're embarrassing me. Not again.
It's very cute. I'm very keen to play it. And it's out at the end of this year. And it's on PC and it's on PS4,
PC, yeah.
so you don't need the new fancy PS. But apparently on PS5, because it uses the DualSense controller, you'll be able to feel the Bug Snacks.
Wow, can't wait to feel my cinnamon snails through my
Hell
controller.
yeah. Gonna feel that thing like crawling all over you. It's gonna be amazing. Hell
Lord.
yeah.
Bug Snacks.
But yeah, today's a special episode because we have a sponsored segment. So normally we do ads during the show, but for this particular piece, we've been asked to talk about a particular game.
Just a small game.
Just a fairly small game. So Sony and Gamefinity locally, they are sponsoring this latest segment for The Last of Us 2.
Bam.
Basically, all that means from a listener and disclosure perspective is that we have been asked to talk about the game, not anything specific, not anything specifically positive or specifically negative, just talk about the game. So we are talking about the game in our own capacity, with our own copy. We haven't been asked to shy away from certain things. But thank you so much to Gamefinity and Sony for sponsoring this segment on The Last of Us 2. A game that Matty has finally been playing a bit more of. Oh, also our copies were supplied by them for disclosure reasons.
I was just going to say.
So last week when we chatted, I hadn't finished the game. I finished the game now.
How far were you last week? Like, just more or less.
I would say about knowing where you are now, about an hour or two ahead of you. But then I literally spent like the entire day last week Sunday, because I had taken Monday and Tuesday off. You lucky duck. I spent the whole of Sunday playing it, and I stopped, and then I spent a bit of Monday. Where I stopped, I was basically like 2 or 3 hours from the end.
Okay.
So I spent a whole day and then a bit playing and finishing it off. So like I said, knowing where you are, you're just about to hit the halfway point.
Yeah. My God.
we aren't going to talk about spoilers specifically.
Yeah, just to be clear, we don't like if you want to go into the game blind, we're going to just do a general discussion, I think, and then we'll give a warning if we do go into spoiler territory.
Yeah, I think it would be neat to talk about like the story up to where you are now, and if you want to go in blind, that's definitely something you maybe don't want to hear, especially because it contains like one of the big twists of the game, I find.
Don't spoil it for me. I'm not even there yet.
But yeah, this entire segment I'll put in the show notes so that if you do want to avoid spoilers and you want to experience it blind, which I think blind is probably the wrong word. If you want to experience it fresh, then yes, you can do that. But so I just want to touch on quickly, since we're not going to talk about the ending or whatever. I think finishing this game, I think the story does a really, really good job of rounding up and kind of, I think just in its entirety, like justifying itself as a sequel. Like I think a lot of people after the first one are like, this game does not need a sequel, that a perfect ending, which I agree. Yeah. The ending to the first game is really good.
It was great, yeah.
I think the ending to this one's equally as good, and I think what makes it more powerful is like the journey to this ending is just so strong. It's I love the story. It's weird to say you love the story that is very hopeless. There's just shades of gray everywhere. There is no defined bad guy. There is no defined good guy. It's just you've got to accept that The Last of Us is set in this horrible world and people make horrible decisions and are horrible to each other, and that is just the game. It is a bleak as hell game.
Yeah. Don't expect sunshine and rainbows. No. Basically.
Especially from the characters you're playing as.
No.
So it's really good. I think it doesn't leave you like hanging where you're like, oh, they need another game to wrap this up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's another case of if this was where The Last of Us ended, it would be 100% fine. Like, I also equally don't know where, because I know Neil Druckmann said they're undecided on whether they do a third one or go to a new IP next. Like, if they decide to do a third part, I don't know where they start with that. In the same way that after the first one, I was like, I don't know how you make a sequel to this.
I mean, so I don't know how the game ends, whatever, but I do think if they do want to explore more of this world, they could do something smaller scale, like Lost Legacy, I guess. Because I think
they did that with like Left
for
Behind.
The first one. Yeah, I mean, there's ample opportunity for side stories. Yeah, I mean, you meet a lot of interesting characters along the way, and like I could 100% see them just picking up one of those threads and either putting it in the past or coloring it in a part of the game where you somewhere else in the city, for example. So
something that happens like parallel to the events of the game. I know that Neil said that they don't ever want to move away from this like core cast of characters, because he's like, if we just do The Last of Us in another locale or another country or whatever, he might as well just do a new IP, which I tend to agree with.
I agree, yeah. I mean, so just for context, the second game picks up, is it 5 years after the first game?
Yeah, 5 years.
And it just follows the story of Ellie very closely. I mean, and there's like just in that regard, it would be weird to move away from her and the characters surrounding her because they are so intrinsically woven into The Last of Us. Like, it would be weird to just pick up, like, a part of me does think if they want to do a sequel, they could just pick up another part of the world and tell us a story there. But the Last of Us's DNA is just, it's made up particularly of Ellie because, I mean, you babysit her through the first game. And now it's interesting to see how 5 years later she's just matured and she's very much capable of looking after herself, and she's on a mission.
I think you're 100% right. I think The Last of Us isn't a setting. The Last of Us is its characters. The setting is the dressing to that. It's not like the Walking Dead did this, where they were like, oh, we're going to do The Walking Dead. I don't know what it was called. I think it was Fear the Walking Dead. And it's like it's other survivors in another city, whatever. It's like The Last of Us is about Joel and Ellie and all the characters around them. It isn't about the outbreak. The outbreak is just the setting for that to happen. I really like the game. I want to know, you having played to around halfway, what your thoughts are now, because last week you hadn't played at all.
So I've played. I started on Monday evening and I'm now 17 hours in.
Damn.
Which is interesting because when I spoke to you, and the general consensus I've seen online is that playtime's 25 to 30 hours.
Yeah.
So when you tell me I'm halfway, I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to be 30 to 35 hours, let's say. But I've been absolutely enthralled with how much detail is packed into this game. Well, from that point of view, it's a typical Naughty Dog game in that you can, so as Ellie, you're walking through a city, for example, and there will be in a specific area like 5 stores. You can walk into each store and they all have a distinct look and just so much detail packed into them that I just sit and I walk through them and I look into like cupboards and every nook and cranny to find crafting items, for example, or letters left behind by other survivors, just to flesh out the story. And just on that level, like Naughty Dog never ceases to amaze with just the level of love and care. I mean, it's the same with Uncharted 4, where I'll never forget just being absolutely blown away by every room I walked into. There's like next to no copy paste, if I could say that, because some games do reuse assets, because the reality is making assets, like making a piece of furniture digitally, takes time.
It's time and money, every little piece.
It's time and money, but Naughty Dog don't shy away from that. And it's I think it's just specifically highlighted in this game, in that, so the first game had obviously similar areas in that it was very much, every area is distinct and whatnot, but this game feels like they've blown it open in terms of, it's not open world, but there's a lot more room to explore. Like you can walk into an area and every area almost feels like a little hub, where, as an example, there might be 5 buildings and a group of enemies, and how you tackle them is up to you. But you can walk into a house and, I don't know, there's like a downstairs area and there's like this unique kitchen and there's a living room, and you might find a letter upstairs that gives you context on the families that live there or the survivors, and you just get pulled into this world where it's just packed with so much detail, which is one of the reasons I love Naughty Dog games in general, because they really don't shy away from putting that much effort into it. Like I feel consumed by the world. Like I feel like I know exactly what a bleak post-apocalyptic world of this nature would feel like in your life, because it's that much detail's been put into it.
I 100% agree with you. I think the the notes that you find strewn across the area are super, super well written and really engrossing, because like you said, they kind of meld into like little micro stories for the area. So you can find notes in a suburb that reference a shop that you might have visited just a few moments before, and you kind of get this like picture of this small pocket of history concerning the area you're in, and often it gives you a lot of context to the events that happened years prior, especially concerning the new like militia that you're up against, the Washington Liberation Front?
Front, yeah.
Yeah, so or wolves, they call them wolves, yeah. And you get a lot of the sense, like, because the sequel takes place in Seattle, which is very different to where Joel and Ellie came from. The Fireflies were like the resistance fighters there. here in Seattle, you've got the wolves who basically they're not the same as the fireflies, but they kind of did similar things. You know, they overthrew the government there and like instigated their own rule and whatever.
Yeah.
And getting the sense of like people dealing with that change through the notes that they've left and what they've written is really, really interesting. It really colors in this like civil war that's happening between the wolves and the Seraphites. Yeah.
Yes, I mean that's a good example. You'll pick up a note from one person to say their wife saying like, "We've decided to leave the wolves. We don't agree with our deals," for example. And then you'll find a note later on from maybe the same person or the wife saying like, "I didn't make it," or like it's just so interesting to pick up these little bits and pieces because, like you say, it's the game's very grey. So it's interesting how the characters indicate that just through simple notes, whatever, where it's like, yeah, people had choices to make, and like, for example, you pick up a note by a corpse, like, well, it didn't work out for this person.
Yeah.
Or you pick up a note, say, I wonder if this person actually made it out, or like, what happened to this person.
Yeah. And sometimes those threads are like left dangling. It's like,
yeah,
you want to know how it wraps up, but obviously it wasn't documented because they escaped or something like that. It's really, really cool. I think a lot of the exploration happens in that first opening area in the first day in Seattle.
Yeah.
So I will say that the game never gives you a hub like that to explore again. Like of that size, because it's huge. It's so big.
Yeah.
It feels like the Madagascar level in Uncharted 4 or that like open hub in Lost Legacy. In terms of scale, but there are so many good stories happening there. I'm sure you came across the bank robbery gone wrong.
Yes, yeah.
Basically, like this group of people who were trying to rob a bank, which just so happened to be the day the infection broke out,
happened.
Which is just like the most like, man, what dumb luck. But like you can see through the notes they've left and stuff, like the complete panic of like this routine bank robbery. And then
just went
plunging
south,
into complete like what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's a really really cool thing.
But I mean that's a good way to that area in particular just to segue into the level design. I feel like some games that earmark very clearly like this is a no-go area. Like you'll see a building and you'll just know like shit, I actually can't go there. But the way the levels are designed here, you can walk down a road and you can walk into, like, say, most of the stores.
Yeah.
And you can actually go inside and explore them. Or it's designed in a way that, you know, like, oh, shit, like, I don't know, there's a truck in front of the door, for example. It's clever. And I never feel like I'm playing, what am I looking for? Like, a game where... some games just make you feel like, you know, it's gamified. Not gamified, that's the wrong word. It feels like you are playing a game. Like, oh, this is clearly... They want me to walk down the road to get from A to B, and I can't actually get into any of the buildings around here.
Yeah.
But if you see an open door, not an open door, if you see a door, chances are you could probably open it, and there's a side area or something to do there.
Yeah.
I mean, and it incentivizes you to explore because you're living in this post-apocalyptic world, obviously, but The Last of Us... is very much the kind of game where you're not going to get mountains of ammunition, for example, or supplies.
Especially if you're playing on hard like you are. I played on normal, and I did feel normal was a bit easier than I expected it to be. But I have heard on hard your resource management is far more crucial.
I found like yes and no. I suppose I don't know if I've been playing the game very carefully using no ammunition, but last night was honestly the first time where I've run out of, say, duct tape. I'm like, shit, I actually can't craft this or that. But I've been exploring very ferociously because I'm trying to find every little piece of cloth and alcohol to make sure that my supply is always up. But it's just cool that you'll explore and you'll come into a little side area. And I mean, there's one area that I told you about that actually gave me a fright yesterday. I'm not going to get into it, but that is a completely missable building.
Yeah.
Like you could just run past it and never know that there was stuff there. But if you explore, you get given like scrap metal. You can get some meds, whatnot, and obviously all the other bits and pieces that you can use to craft ammunition, supplies.
You get treated to a little side story.
Yeah, you get treated to a little side story as well. But it's not like this insignificant room. Like some side areas, it's you'll climb a ledge and there's loot there. It's like literally a little mini hub with bits and pieces for you to explore, which I really enjoy.
There's whole cutscenes you can miss in this game. Like,
well,
they are literally some of the best cutscenes in the game that you can 100% never see.
Well, that one I told you about with the workbench. I actually saw someone tweet about it this morning saying like this moment gave them a fright, whatever. And
it gave me a massive fright too. Yeah.
But someone in the comments said like, where did this happen?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I finished the game, I didn't see this, so
there's even
missed
some
that
points
building.
that I've thought have been like story crucial that apparently are optional, and I'm just like, holy crap! I'm so glad I got to see that, because even though it's not consequential to the story at hand, it colored in a lot of the characterization to some characters, and it's completely missable if you don't. So I think the point is like, do not rush through this game.
No,
savor it and explore as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a reason I'm 17 hours in and only now I'm halfway, because when I say I comb through a building, I really comb through buildings, because the reality is, like if you walk into a grocery store, for example, there'll be racks of shelves and there'll be a till point with shelves underneath. It's very easy to run past and just not look and see like there's something there. So I often loop through a building and I loop through it in reverse just to make sure that I haven't seen everything.
Fair enough.
I mean, to make sure that I have seen everything. And honestly, there have been times when I'm like, oh shit, I missed this one little item. And it sounds silly, but playing on hard, I'm trying to make sure that my supplies are up, because like Ellie doesn't carry a lot of ammunition. I mean, that's even from the first Last of Us. Joel
your maximum is very, very low, yeah.
You can, if you do an encounter badly, you could really run through your ammunition like nothing. I mean, a good example is I played the game, like, it's funny, I've played the game so well at some points where like I'll grab a person, I'll hold them hostage, use them as cover to like shoot someone else, and I'll kill them. Like, wow, that was very efficient. I used 1 bullet to kill 2 people, let's say. But then there's been times when I've panicked, like I've had a dog rush at me and I wasted 5 bullets, and I'm like, oh my God, what? Like I should have just taken time to just breathe and use 1 bullet,
Yeah.
But it's incredible. The combat in that game is...
The combat in the game is really
special.
It's really
so
something.
Intense. I mean, and it almost makes you wish you had more games. Like, don't get me wrong, I love, let's say, like Titanfall or Call of Duty, where it's literally just a shooting gallery. It's a power trip almost. You've got
definitely
all this ammunition. You're not worrying about sparing your ammunition. You're more worried about aiming and not dying. Okay.
Yeah.
But when they limit your ammunition to this level, where you can have like 12 bullets for your revolver, 12 bullets for your handgun. I mean, it's not a lot. So in a normal game, you might have 60 for each, let's say. So it really forces you to think like, how am I going to use this? Do I use like 1 bullet on that guy? Maybe I switch to throwing a brick on that guy so I don't waste ammunition. Oh shit, I'm being hunted down. Like I'm panicking. I need to use my shotgun because I don't have time to like be precise. Yeah, it's very special combat.
They're all like very, very complex puzzles, I feel like. And I think the what helps is the scale of them. Like the first Last of Us, each encounter I felt was kind of small and self-contained. These ones, I mean, you've been to Hillcrest.
It's massive areas.
Hillcrest is like one of the standouts for the game to me, because it just feels like you are playing in this almost scripted cutscene, except none of it is scripted. When I was playing it, I stayed hidden for the longest time, and I thought I was getting to the end of the area, and I'd really just got past the beginning. And then I alerted the guards, and I was like, well, screw it, I'm going to try run and re-engage stealth. But every time I ran, I got like sought out or seen again. So it was this like very scrappy run, kill someone who's in my way, hide a little bit. Oh God, they've seen me, carry on running, And it felt like this cutscene that had been directed like an action movie cutscene before I got to the end of it. And it was just phenomenal.
But that happens organically. I mean, I've also got stories where I think it was also in Hillcrest, one of the later areas where it's also just, again, like a hub of houses. I remember like I know you climb into this one building and there's a guard and a dog nearby.
I think that's where they first introduced dogs, is in Hillcrest.
Yes, so it was just after the first set of dogs I'd fought. Then I was like in a basement. I thought, shit, like, what am I going to do? I don't know this area. I don't know where to go. But I ended up leaving one of those, I don't know what they're called, but it's like basically like a remote mine. Like a remote, a trap mine, whatever you want to call it. I left it at the foot of the stairs and I went up and I did my thing. And I ended up being seen and making a lot of noise. And then I heard an explosion behind me because obviously one of the guards was trying to flank me. But I was so focused on what's happening in front of me, I just completely forgot about what's behind me. But it's just stuff like that. You're like, damn, I was very lucky.
The guards flank you so well. Like if you're static when you've been spotted, they will absolutely murder you.
But that being said, Ellie's very like the sprint in this game. I'm like, surely you can run a little bit faster. But in the heat of the moment, you can move very quickly.
Oh yes, yeah. She
like
can
Ellie's
reposition herself very quickly, yeah.
And the way the levels are designed, I love how often in parts there'll be maybe like a little gap in the building. And it just helps to like squeeze through, run into the grass, jump into that building over there. And yeah, it's
I love how natural it feels. Like you were saying earlier, there's no part of this game where you feel like, oh, this is a game. It's a stupid game restriction that I can't squeeze through. You're like, every wall Ellie can climb over, every little gap she can squeeze through feels natural. And the parts that don't allow you to get through, I don't feel like it's like, oh, I can't get through here because my character can't prone low enough. But in real life, they would make a plan. Like I never felt that. The options you have to like maneuver around as Ellie are really, really cool.
And also, so I only played The Last of Us like in launcher once, so I don't remember much of the movement options that Joel had. But I know Ellie, like, I don't think you could go prone in the first one.
No, you can go prone. You couldn't. You couldn't jump over things. You couldn't. Yeah.
You couldn't jump over things. Nope. What? Oh my word! Okay.
You could like vault over like a bar or something like that, but you couldn't climb fences like she does, or climb on top of cars and climb and jump from a car to a roof or something like that.
Okay. I mean, so even the fact that you can go prone, it makes me think so much of Metal Gear Solid 5, where like you can do anything from the ground. Like you can craft, you can shoot, and there were many moments where I was hiding in grass where I'm just there and I like please don't see me. Oh God, they've seen me. Pull out my gun, shoot them. But like without getting up. So I mean, the combat, like in that regard, it feels like you said it's not gamey. It's very fluid. Like that's the sort of thing you'd probably do in real life. You don't want to stand up and shoot someone.
I think one of the coolest parts as well was that if you're prone in long grass and you want to aim at someone, it's actually incredibly difficult because all the grass is in your way. And I'm like, oh yeah, well duh, that makes sense, because like so many games you go prone and you can make the most precise fucking shots.
Clear view,
But here you aim and all you see is grass and you're just like, I cannot actually see this person who's literally like right in front of me.
It's good.
It's and it's the same when you're hiding under a car. Your vision is completely compromised. So it's like, cool, I don't feel, like you said, it doesn't feel like a power trip where I'm Ellie and I'm just like this rogue soldier. She does feel scrappy and she's smart. Like she's very smart. But she's definitely, she's getting by the skin of her teeth every single time. I do think the biggest change here that changes combat in a very, I don't know if it's positive or negative yet. I go between the two, but like you don't have to craft shivs. Like Ellie's knife doesn't break, and I feel like that can make stealth really, really easy at points. But at the same time, most of the time, there's so many enemies that getting by without being seen is a challenge in itself.
Yeah, I thought about that as well. And I do think that just the fact that the areas are far more open, and the reality is, ammunition is so scarce. If you were to run out, you still need to have the means to get through an area. Like you can completely avoid some encounters. There are some areas where you could, like, if you get your way from point A to B, you don't have to fight anyone. But I think that not having to craft shivs is actually kind of nice. Especially when it comes to the infected and clickers. Like clickers will still beat the shit out of you, and it's terrifying. But it's nice that I actually have the option of taking them on now. Without having to shoot them.
Yeah, I definitely think in terms of when you're fighting the infected, I think it's a positive change, because I remember in the first game being very irritated by some sections where it's like, there's 3 clickers, I've got 1 shiv. And it's
you have to be so
structured
sneaky
in a way where this is going to be frustrating, because like if I can't get past them at this point, I'm just going to die. So I think it gives you more options in that regard. but at the same time, like, the combat is tuned in such a way that if you are spotted and you just like head-on dash at someone, they will kill you. Like, there's even a hint in the game where it's like if you are dashing directly at or sprinting it directly at someone who sees you, their aim is like really good.
The aim is better.
Like, you are running towards
which
them.
makes sense. You're becoming a bigger target. So.
Exactly. Exactly. You're just making their job easier for you. And at the same time, if you're just melee fighting with your little butterfly knife, like, those engagements take long enough that other people will find you.
Other people get there. I mean, so that's actually, again, sorry to keep hitting that point home, the way the game does not feel gamey is exactly that, where in any other game, there've been, okay, there's no examples that come to mind, but if I'm being swarmed by 2 or 3 people, let's say, it's very easy to mash the melee button and you'll know it's fine, like, I'll be caught in a cinematic here of killing this dude, the other people aren't going to attack me. I'll get through them, basically.
Yeah.
You actually can't do that in this game. I've had many times where I'm like, oh shit, I'm just going to run at this person and I'm dead.
Yep.
Like, you can't. You really have to.
It was such a weird thing I had to like unlearn, because it felt like such a natural game thing, like, oh, just rush them. And it's like, this game is like, hell no. You
the person looks you in the eyes like, no.
This one rewards you for like getting around them a little bit and having like an additional melee weapon, like an axe or something, where if you hit them once and they don't see you, you will take them out straight away. But the combat, I think what's really cool is that I haven't played a game in a while, or perhaps ever, where the feeling of shooting one bullet is so powerful.
It's very powerful, yeah.
Where the recoil is so intense, and like, even if I miss the shot, if I just missed the shot, the fact that I got close like staggers the enemy slightly, in the same way that if I get shot, like, sometimes you get shot and Ellie gets shot down to the ground. Like, she will be in a standing position, she'll be hit by a bullet, and next thing she'll be prone because the impact of the bullet is so intense. So whenever you're getting shot at, it's not like, oh, there's this little like red indicator on the screen and you hear the bullets whizzing by. It's like it's like negatively impacting your ability to aim back, and it adds so much tension to one-on-one firefights and skirmishes. It's really something.
I mean, actually, just on that, the sound design, exactly how you've just said. I mean, you can play, like, again, many other shooters, and you kind of just get into encounters and you hear the bullets. But yeah, with every gunshot, you're like, oh my God, like, whew, that nearly hit me.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I need to move away here, get into a better position.
It's such a powerful reverberation. The sound design in that game is so incredible. It blows me away. I mean, we say, yes, Naughty Dog are experts in this regard, but they're given some of the most money out of any AAA studio in the world to make sure that they can do this. But at the same time, they're given these resources and they fucking nail it. Like, they really go all in on every single aspect.
Like, you can't look at this game and not be amazed by, like, I've said it 3 million times really, just the level of detail.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every aspect. I mean, and sorry to keep going on about it, but to go back to the fact that I can walk into any building and there's like next to no, I mean, there are reused assets, like, obviously, but every building is
feels
like it's a store. I'm like, someone had to sit and design a store, a fake brand filled with fake goods, and do this like dozens, if not hundreds of times.
Branding is so good. Like, you can tell where the inspirations come from. Like, you see a coffee shop and you're like, okay, that looks like shades of a Starbucks or something like that. But it's its own brand. You see advertising for it in other buildings. So you see like this coffee shop. It's like this. I mean, there's this one building nearish the end of the game, which is like an office building, and every floor is like a different business, and every floor's got its own distinct like office layout and color layout and this. And I'm just like, these are all essentially what I assume were completely real businesses that were pitched, and this is like what the business identity would look like outside of the apocalypse. And now let's apply that and that's for like one floor that maybe takes you 2 minutes to walk through. Yeah. But it's that attention to detail.
Yeah, like, my favorite is I walk into a store and you kind of, although like shelves will be fallen over and whatever, but you can look and be like, this was a cycling shop.
Exactly.
For example.
Yeah, exactly.
I walk in, I'm like, oh, this is a Halloween store. Look at all these outfits on racks. I'm like, they don't have to do that. They could have just left all the shelves bare.
It's not like every store is a little convenience store. Yeah.
No.
There's all identity to it. Yeah.
I've got poor memory of the first Last of Us because I played it so long ago. But I know there was that level of detail, but I don't think on this scale. Like, I think they've really turned it up. Like,
and
big
I
time.
mean, there's even areas that you visit once. Like
yeah, you just walk through.
Some of the flashbacks that you encounter.
Oh yes, yeah.
Like you are only visiting that place once, but it is packed with so much bloody detail. It's just
yeah.
I mean, I think a standout for both of us is Ellie and Joel's visit to the museum.
Oh yeah, like I mean
Incredible.
That's so. Just in terms of how the game's structured, you tend to play like a segment like in modern times, and then you often play a segment set a few years ago that just colors in some backstory. And early on, there's a segment where you play as Joel and Ellie visiting a museum, and even that, like, it's not a storefront, but there's this whole museum with like full-on exhibits.
It's one of my favorite parts of the game. It really is.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
it's like they took the feeling of that in the first game where you see the giraffe, and just that moment is like really strong.
Yes,
and they somehow made a
same.
level that had that feeling continue for like an hour. It was just wondrous.
It's a good time.
Did you put a hat on like every dinosaur?
Wait, you could put hats on dinosaurs?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you've missed a trophy already then.
Oh, damn it. I just put a hat on me.
No, so you can put a hat on you, and then you can go around to the dinosaurs and put a hat, and Ellie makes a joke for everyone. And Joel is eventually is this going to be a thing? Because you keep doing it to so many dinosaurs. Yeah, it's very good.
That's amazing. Shit, I need to go back now. So I haven't finished the game, but I'm about halfway, and my immediate thoughts is that this game is spectacular. Like, I don't know how it ends. I don't know what the twists are. But in terms of raw gameplay, the way the story's paced, the design, the visuals, I'm playing on a base PS4. And
that I've heard the performance on a base PS4 is like really good.
It's funny that we expect different, because first-party PlayStation games, they do it right. Like, God of War remains one of those jaw-dropping moments where I'm like, I can't believe I'm not playing this on my PC. Like, it's a 2013 PS4. And it just looks like incredible. And the same applies here, where I'll just stand on a car and I'll just have this view of this massive city. And I'm like, how am I not lagging?
The vistas are...
How does this look so good? And like, lag aside, you'll run through an area, like the greenery in this game, it's so lush and vivid and full of life. And there are times when the sun just breaks you. I'm like, whoa, like, how does this game look so good?
Well, you just got to the aquarium, so you just finished probably... One of my most standout like visual parts was that storm when you're in the boat. When I finished that, I literally messaged Neelan, who works at Naughty Dog. I was just like, that scene is unbelievable. Okay,
explains, this is a little detail, and I don't know if I'm mad, but I mean, rain's not an uncommon thing in games. But how often in games where it's raining do you see streams of water like coming out the gutter or just falling? Like in those little streams, like. That's me. I don't know.
There was a lot of water simulation happening there. Yeah.
I was like, but I'm not mad thinking like games have that, but not to this level of detail where you'll walk up a road and it's sort of like cratered in whatever, but there's just these little jets of water rushing down the road, which that's what it looked like in real life. It is unreal.
That storm is something else. Just the sheer volume of water that's around you that is like kind of like scary in a way, because it's like, oh god, this is like drowning flood weather. And then just how it gets so dark so quickly, and then the cracks of lightning. The lighting of that lightning is how that thing is not like ray traced or something. It's just Naughty Dog have really found a way to fake effects so incredibly well.
But not only that, they've been because of ray tracing, I look at every reflection in any other game and I was saying, like, how did they do that? I mean, there are tons of mirrors in this game where you look at yourself and there are tons of little reflections. I'm like,
they fake things very well.
Like, what sorcery is this? Because it's not real-time calculations or whatever. So there's some sorcery going on there, but it's done very well.
A lot of, this game is spectacular. Like, it's not a perfect game. Like, if I had to... I didn't review it for a website or whatever, but if I had to score it, I probably wouldn't have done a 10 like a lot of other websites did. I don't think they're wrong. I think everyone has their opinions, but I do think it seems to me by our discussions you're not feeling the same, but I feel like eventually all the scouring for stories and collectibles and stuff, while worthwhile, I do feel like it impacts the pacing a little bit. Especially in some areas, and some people don't agree with that, and that's fine. But that's really the only thing that got to me. I was just like, oh, I'm clearing out this big combat area, and then I'm having to go back through it to comb through for collectibles. So sometimes it just influences the pacing a bit negatively for me.
Yeah, no, so don't get me wrong. Like, as much as I'm enjoying that, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I guess, where... like a part of me, I love finding out the backstories. Like I do enjoy going through a house, being like, "Oh, there's a note here. Like, what happened here?" But there are times where I'm like, I almost wish there was a little indicator to be like, it highlights everything I can pick up.
Yeah,
there's a reason I'm doubling back through buildings, because if you run past something, you might not see a shelf at a certain angle.
Oh yeah, and you can miss something completely.
There's a reason I run. Like I said to you earlier, I run through a building and I loop back through it backwards because I often miss stuff that way. And I know, see, this is a sort of thing that I praise it for not being a game, like not gamifying stuff. But at the same time, like, I wish it had that where I could highlight, like, I just want to look at a room and know, okay, there's something in that drawer, there's something in that shelf, but you can't do that.
It's kind of fascinating. You can use one of the accessibility features to do that.
Oh shit, I'm going to put that on right now.
Yeah, so Callie Plaggy, who is my reviews editor at GameSpot, in her actual review, she actually mentioned exactly what you're saying now. She says sometimes it's really difficult to, like, you want to see the continuation of this like micro story from you've got from the collectibles, but sometimes you really just can't see anything. So there's a feature in accessibility which is high contrast mode, which turns off all the textures, so everything's gray and only important items. So enemies are red, allies are blue. Collectibles and pickups are a very bright yellow, so you can see them.
Okay. I want that level of accessibility.
Yeah, no, I mean that's specifically there for players who require it. But the fact that it is like this helps me get the collectibles is like a weird thing.
That's amazing. Yeah, so like I agree with you there. I mean, I don't know if I'd give it a 10 either, because like what people forget is that when reviewers give us a game a 10, it doesn't necessarily mean that they think the game's perfect.
Yeah.
They're trying to indicate that it's a must play.
Yeah.
I mean, but that differs by publication and personal opinion.
Yeah,
whatever, but
10s don't necessarily mean must play. It could just be like, this is an exceptional piece of video games,
But like, I mean, again, I'm not reviewing this for anyone, and to this day, I don't think I've ever given a perfect score, because I'm of the opinion that no game is perfect and no game should technically get a 10. Like, I would almost say like a 9.8, 9.9, just to indicate that there's some sort of... I
hate decimals. I fucking hate decimals.
Yeah,
scores.
But I'm the same thing though. Like, I'd rather than like maybe a 9.5. But I would score it in I'd say 9.5, because 100%. I do feel the game, like, it is exceptional.
Oh yeah.
But there are certain, like, there's one or two hiccups like that with the looting. Like, the only reason I'm being so thorough is because I'm playing on hard and I kind of have to. Like, and it does slow down the pace, so it's a weird thing between like being
it's like self-imposed, but at the same time you're doing it because you want to see the stories because they're so good.
Yeah,
but then it's affecting the pacing.
100% imposed though. Like, I could just leave the area, but I'm like,
you could.
I get irritated with myself often. Actually, like, I'm like, I've run through this building already. Why am I running through it again? I'm like, just in case I miss something.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a testament to how good those little side stories are. It's like, I do not want to miss them. So
yeah,
it's an exceptional game. It really is. This is on par in my books, probably exceeding. It's weird because I gave God of War a 10 when I was writing the review for Critical Hit, but even though I say I wouldn't give this a 10, I still consider this probably a better game. I just think God of War surprised me a bit more with the direction it took. Considering it came from a series that I don't think was ever even close to being as good as that reboot was.
But I mean, there's that to consider as well, that some games impact people in different ways.
Yeah, of course.
So,
I think this is just another solid... it's a really good Sony exclusive, and just like the first Last of Us was a swan song for the PS3, it was like hey, this console is 5 months away from being replaced by the PS4. Let's show you what this thing can actually fucking do. That is 100% what this game does. It is a technical showpiece on another level, but it's also just a really remarkable story. And even though Ghost of Tsushima is coming out next month, from what I've seen, that game looks good. I don't think it's going to be this level of good.
I don't think it'll be Last of Us good.
I think this is the game the PS4 is remembered for. This and God of War, like, oh my God, this is why this console was a must-own, type of thing.
Don't forget Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, which I'm actually playing through again. So yes.
I know.
Fear the old blood.
Hey?
Fear the old blood. Sorry.
Fear the old blood.
Yeah.
You broke up this. I just said, old blood. It's like, what? But I think we can leave that there.
I love this game, and I'm very, very excited for you to get to the end because I really want to talk to you about it.
So I think, I'm halfway. Holy shit. Hopefully by next weekend when we record, I'll be finished. We can do a proper spoiler cast.
Yeah, then we'll just discuss like story and, like I think kind of where they went with it. Because I definitely think they do some incredibly surprising things I was not expecting. Things that, even though I did expect it, happened in different ways. The first thing I did when I finished it was chat to Callie because she had finished it for GameSpot, and we spent about an hour chatting on Slack just about things we enjoyed, things we thought were kind of weird. Like, I think irrespective of its one or two issues I have with it, that story is just phenomenal. It really is something else. And the acting is on another level. Like, we know that Laura Bailey is good and Ashley Birch is good and Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. Like, they're all good. But even I feel like in this game they are punching above their weight with the sort of like performances they give. Just some of those opening moments with Joel and Ellie, the voice acting and the motion capture is just on another level.
Insane.
It's really something else. So good.
Last of Us 2 would recommend playing.
Good game. Really good game. I really enjoy it. Which is, again, strange to say for a game that is so violent and bleak and really, like, I understand if someone is like, I'm not in the mental space to play this game right now. I 100% understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Good lord.
Because it is.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about it next week because then I think we can talk about everything. Like, there are so many moments I just want to talk to you about but I'm not going to do it here, so don't worry.
Yeah, I don't think we spoiled much here. I mean, we mentioned some characters and areas here and there, but like, I think if you're avoiding everything from the game, you're not even going to listen to that. So it's fine, whatever. I'll still put it in the show notes, irrespective.
Yeah,
and just make it clear.
Case.
Very quickly, because we're like bordering on an hour already.
Oh my God, where did the hour go?
Again, that was a sponsored segment by Sony and Gamefinity for The Last of Us 2. I mean, like I said, we spoke about the game in our own capacity, so take that as you will. Can confirm we weren't paid to talk about it for an hour. I think our minimum is like we'll talk about it. I think our quote was like 15 minutes.
Oh, they got their money's worth.
They got their money's worth. Yes, exactly. So just very quickly, anything else you've been playing? No. Valorant?
No. So I've played a lot of Valorant, but I'll save that for next week. I've played about 8 to 10 hours.
You enjoying it?
My initial thoughts: the ping is shit, which
shocker.
Which is a shocker. But the game is a lot of fun. Like the time I've spent with it, I've really enjoyed it, and that game is designed to feel. It feels identical to Counter-Strike in a lot of ways. But the fact that there are different abilities, it's different.
Do you have like a favorite character? A main?
No, I've only played 2 or 3 of the 12 characters. So like I've got
there's 12?
Plenty to play. I think there's
crap.
12.
Okay,
10 to 12.
I thought there were only like 8.
No, I think there's plenty. But it's a weird thing because in Counter-Strike you buy a weapon, you buy a grenade, whatever, and you use them. I'm not used to using abilities in a game like this. So for the first few hours, I was like hardly using my abilities, which is silly because the abilities give you an advantage. Like a good example is I don't know. I can't remember what her name is. I always forget it. But there's a character who's all about mobility. So she's got like a dash ability. She can jump up into the air, like a triple jump, if you want to call it that. And I just wasn't using those abilities, which just makes me like a static target. But yeah, I'm gonna spend, I think, plenty more time playing the game, and I am enjoying it. But I'll talk about it more next week.
Okay.
Other than that, I've played very little Xenoblade this week, purely because all my spare time's gone into The Last of Us. Always check in Animal Crossing, but that's it.
I have not checked into Animal Crossing in like 2 weeks.
You
I think
to get
I've been
terraforming.
Ostracized from my island, probably.
Yeah,
And
and
log
funny?
in, and it's going to be like the tribe has spoken. They're going to send me
what's
on
funny
a
is
ship.
that they've made the game that if you haven't checked in for long, your islanders will be sassy with you. Be like,
Wow.
oh, wow, long time no see.
Wow. What rude assholes.
So-
You're just going to
so
tie
get
me up
ready.
and put me on a raft and let me float out to sea.
You're gonna launch the game. You're gonna be like Gulliver on a random island. Like,
Yeah.
how do I get you?
Where did I go?
What happened? What else? What have you been playing?
So yeah, I haven't been playing Animal Crossing much, just because I don't know, I'm just playing other things.
Yeah.
I started up Bloodborne again because I haven't played it since I finished the DLC way back when. Man, the first night I played that, I felt super rusty. Like I was
happens.
being annihilated by those stupid werewolves on the bridge near the cleric beast.
I know.
Those
Those
things
are
were
tricky though.
They were fucking my shit up. And then the cleric beast, the very first time I played Bloodborne, I beat the cleric beast first time. And I was like,
Me too, which is one of my proudest achievements.
exactly. I was like, I understand this game. This cleric beast ate me alive, I think, about 4 or 5 times. Like, I was
Oh,
just
my
like, I
word.
do not understand what I'm doing wrong. But then, so I played, and, at the end of that night, I got past the cleric beast, and I was like, okay, I think I'm kind of getting it again. And then when I picked it up the night after, then it felt like everything just clicked. Like, I was just like, I got this. And now I'm speeding through this game. Like, I beat Father Gascoigne in my second try.
Oh wow, that's
I-
impressive because that's a tricky boss as well.
Yeah, I beat the Bloodstarved Beast on my second try, and that is my...
I hate that boss so
that
much.
boss was the reason I quit Bloodborne in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, I cannot fucking beat this guy. I don't know if I'm just understanding builds better now. I'm like putting loads of points into strength and skill, so I'm just doing a ton of damage. Like,
What weapon are you using?
I've still got the saw cleaver, but
cleaver.
I'm waiting till I get Ludwig's blade, because I've never finished the game with that.
I used Ludwig's blade in my first playthrough.
Yeah, I've
good
never
time.
used that, so I'm like super stoked to use that. But yeah, I like it. You know where it ended last night? I finally found one of those stupid bagmen, and
no.
I got him
Oh,
on
you
I
got killed.
got him on a visceral attack, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy. And then as I was about to kill him, I got attacked by other villagers, so I died to them. But because he was involved in the fight, I still got kidnapped.
You got taken to that area.
But now
And
I
that area-
understand that area a lot better, because I was stuck there the first time I played for so long, and now I'm just like, oh, I can run past these guys. They're like super easy to just like get around.
Avoid. That area is terrifying because those dudes, particularly if you die to like one of the first bagmen you found, you go to that area and those dudes are very high level.
Oh, they
F
annihilate
you
you.
up.
Yeah,
They murder you.
They hit
Jeez,
you
like-
once and you die, and then when they go into like that frenzied phase when they're about to die, they
hate
just
it
fling
so
that bag
much.
everywhere. It's
God, I hate it.
What I didn't realize is that there's 2 ways to escape that area. So there's
There's two?
there's the lamp that obviously you
Yeah.
light and just GTFO out of there. But if
Yeah.
you
there's
explore the prison, there's a hole in the wall, and when you
There's a
leave the
boss
hole,
there.
yeah, it's Dark Beast Paul, and I was like, huh. When I played this the first time, I faced this boss near the end of the game where I was so high level that I just
it is so
annihilated
easy.
him. Yeah.
yeah.
So I fought him last night, and he wiped the floor with me. Like, he was so aggressive, and I could do nothing to kill him.
Can I tell you, the first time I found that boss, I was like, this is an optional boss. I'm just going to yeet my way out of here and come back. And I did. And when I came back, I was too high level.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, there's another way. Yeah, I faced him once, and I was like, no. His electric attacks were like killing me almost instantly. So I was just like, I'm not ready for this fight.
You must watch speedruns of that. I mean, you've seen speedruns of that game.
Oh,
But watch
yeah.
speedruns, and they teach you how to break bosses, which is actually a bad thing because then it makes bosses a walkover. Like I know with a blood-starved beast, if you throw a blood vial, he just sits in a corner. You can just wail on him because he's obviously
one of those beast pungent beast things.
Yeah, there's like you throw something and he just gets distracted. You can just kill him.
That's amazing.
Which I didn't know, obviously, but that's how speedrunners do it. They just throw it in a corner and they just like sit and like swap.
And wailing.
That what's the boss you just mentioned now? The electric one. Pal. If you attack its legs at the back, it just staggers. Like completely.
So you can just do viscerals all the time.
You can just do not visuals. You can just like attack, do so much damage. It's insane. Like it's funny because the game is designed that it'll break you, but there are ways to break the bosses as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, like in Old Yharnam, there's that guy who's chilling on the top and just shooting at you with a machine gun. Fuck that guy.
Yes, yeah. I hate him so much.
The first time I played it, I got lucky with him because I was really struggling to kill him. And so I ran down the ladder and he followed me and then he fell off and died. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So when I was fighting him this time, I was like, man, this guy's still very hard. So he was dodging, and then he dodged to like the edge of the tower he was on. So I hit him once and he fell again. I was like, well, fuck you. I'm like, I refuse to fight you on your own terms. This is how I'm going to kill you every single time. And it worked. So,
are you going to finish this playthrough?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm fully locked in. I'm like heading now to Vicar Amelia. I'm also doing things. When I played the game the first time, I was so focused on like finishing it and just like the challenge that I never explored that much. And now that I feel more confident in my ability, like I'm having a much easier time playing this game. Like enemies that I remember giving me hard times are giving me absolutely no issue at all this time. So I'm having a fun time just kind of like exploring and soaking in the world
stuff
a lot more.
So now I know you own Dark Souls 3, but have you finished Dark Souls 3?
I haven't even touched Dark Souls 3.
You haven't even played Dark Souls 3?
You know what it is? No. Every time I think about playing it, I'm like, I should finish Dark Souls 1. And then I look at my PC and then I'm like, fuck, that game is so hard.
Just ignore Dark Souls 1. Just play Dark Souls 3. Because, I mean, I did exactly what you did. I played Bloodborne, I played Sekiro, and then I went to Dark Souls 3.
I also need to finish Sekiro.
You haven't finished Sekiro either. Damn it. Dark Souls 3 came out after Bloodborne, and while they're very different games, it's like it's a different setting, different weapons. It's so good. Like if you love the combat of Bloodborne, I mean it's like a no-brainer to play Dark Souls 3.
I think I'll love it. I really do. I feel like if I go back to Sekiro especially, I'm gonna have to restart it. I'm so far into that game.
Sekiro's a tricky one, yeah.
I don't think I'll pick it up in a way that will frustrate me more than anything if I don't restart it, I think. But yeah, it's good. I also picked up Pokemon again. Because the expansion came out, and that's not really why I picked it up. I was just like, yesterday Shani was over and she was watching TV, and I was like, I want to play something, so I loaded up my Switch, and I was like, because I really didn't play Pokemon Sword for that long. I think I played for maybe an hour. I didn't even get to the city before the first gym, so I didn't even see that ceremony, nothing. So I played now quite a bit. I've seen that ceremony. I've beaten the grass gym. That game's cool. That game is piss easy.
That's cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It is whiplash going from that to Bloodborne, but it's a good game.
Yeah, I enjoyed Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So I've actually finished it. I've got the expansion. I just need to dive into it.
So apparently the expansion scales to whatever level you are, which is cool. So I can play it at any point.
You just dive in.
But I don't even have a bicycle yet, so I'm not even going to bother.
Oh, no. Yeah. You need that bicycle, man. That good bicycle.
I'm enjoying making curry, though. Good time.
And I love it when you and your Pokemon eat it. It's like...
yeah, they're like, is it going to taste good? Yeah.
That's good.
It's very good. I like it a lot. Yeah. That mini game goes on for way too long, though.
It does.
Way too long. Yeah.
It's a good time, though.
But it's good. Yeah, I'm enjoying the whimsy of Pokemon, irrespective of how really, like, it's made for kids.
It's easy.
But man, that game has zero challenge to it. Like, absolutely none.
I think there was just one when I reviewed it however many months ago. There's like literally one gym battle where I just underestimated my Pokemon versus what I was up against, and I nearly died. But I was like, it is still a thing of, okay, I said we'd be smart about this, and I still won. So I didn't die once.
No, it's dead easy. The Dynamax thing, I used it for the first time. That's pretty dope. Pretty cool. Like the whole big Pokemon fighting. I like that.
It's a good time. You got to finish it, man. You got to get your little sobble up to whatever the hell the evolved
I did finish
is.
Let's Go Pikachu, so I guess I will finish this. But Let's Go Pikachu I also played over a long time. It was like I came back to it, returned to it, So I don't know.
Let's go.
We'll see. I'm not the same Pokemon player like Darren is.
Got to catch them all.
Yeah, no, I'm not the sort of person who's like I'm going to fill out my Pokedex and then get perfect IVs. I'm going to breed Pokemon. That's just not my.
I'm also not that into it.
But yeah, it's good. I gave my character a nice undercut haircut. Looks fucking stupid. I love it.
You gave yourself a haircut?
Yeah, I went to a barber and I changed my hair.
Oh,
in the game, not me.
I got so sidetracked. I was like, "You what?"
No, I saw you looking at me through the webcam. I'm like, "No, not me."
I was like, "Your hair looks fine. There's nothing wrong."
My God,
that's so funny. I was just checking the time. I was like, "Oh my God, we're an hour and 10 minutes."
Let's move to game releases. How about that?
Yeah, we're gonna have to fly because we also have a lot of questions.
I mean, there's some news, but not like tons of news. I don't think. I don't know. I don't recall there being like, oh, there was EA Play, but there wasn't even that much from there. I don't think.
EA Squadrons looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
visually
that's
super gorgeous.
Looks pretty good.
Whether the game holds up, I don't know.
Yeah,
I must admit I'm not big into
space
flying
fighters.
Games.
Yeah,
although
I'll
say that there was a game I played years ago as a kid called. It was like, I don't want to say Freelancer, but it is something like that, but set in space where you basically just had to do missions, get money, upgrade your gear.
That sounds like Elite.
And like I enjoy it. Sounds like Elite. I can't remember. I enjoyed that, but I can't say that I'm a person who like salivates at.
I'm mostly curious to see how it feels because like the trailers do a really good job of like, oh my God, they're doing these amazing maneuvers, but if it like feels weird and clunky, then yeah.
Then I don't know.
I'm just more than anything, it supports VR, so I'm like in there just to try that in VR because it looks fucking cool in VR. You can only play these. They were like, there's only a cockpit view. There's no third person view. So keen.
So but I think that's cool.
Okay. Game releases from June 20th to June 26th. We don't have that many. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Hydrated. It's a remaster of an old game. I've never played it, but people are excited.
Let's forget The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, this is the real June game. Ninjala coming out on Switch. This game almost looks like Splatoon, but it's not. It's like a melee combat game where it looks like Splatoon because it's like, oh, it's these weird kids and they're all eating bubblegum or something. So it's got that like color and the like weird premise thing to it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's free to play. So that's cool.
Oh, damn.
That's June 24th. Anno History Collection coming to PC on June 25th. Mr. Driller Drill Land. I hate that name. PC and Switch, June 25th.
Why do you hate that name?
And then the last game for this week, Fairy Tail, which is, as far as I know, based on an anime. PC, PS4, and Switch, June 26th. That's it.
Okay.
We're heading into July soon.
Drought.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Ghosts of Tsushima.
Very excited for Ghost of Sushi. Yes.
Sushi. So at EA, are we bouncing to news?
So EA Play.
EA Play. They also announced Skate.
Skate 4.
Which means sweet nothing to me, but a lot of people
It also
excited
means sweet nothing to me. I just know
4.
that Skate, people have been asking for new Skate for like years now, but I never played Skate. So I know it's more like a technical, like skating game. It's about like nailing tricks very technically. It's not like a Tony Hawk where you're like setting off fireworks because you're skating around them. Nonsense like that. So,
actual fireworks.
But yeah, Star Wars Squadrons looks really good. I'm keen on that.
It does look good.
There's really not much else there that really caught my eye.
No, it was. I know the dude who made A Way Out
Joseph Fares
announced their new game. It takes two. I think.
Yeah.
But
it's another co-op game.
I haven't seen. I actually haven't watched the trailer, but that dude as a personality amazes me. He's like so out there. He's like, this game's gonna be effing amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
but he was like that with The Way Out as well.
I respect that from him. Like, he really is trying. He's like, I want to tell stories, that are unique to games and stuff like that. And I think, A Way Out, I think from a gameplay perspective, didn't always hit the right notes. But I think the idea behind it, like, this has to be played in co-op. This can only be played in co-op, stuff like that. Like, he really commits to a style of game, which is, admirable in a way. Even if those games don't always gel with what I enjoy, I think it's cool that someone's sticking to their guns on that. So, but yeah, other than that, the other cool thing from EA Play is Apex Legends is coming to Switch.
Oh yes, and it's getting crossplay.
It's coming to Steam as well. There's a bunch of EA games that have come to Steam now. So yeah, that's cool. It's cool that crossplay is coming. It's cool that it's coming to Switch, and that game continues to be really good. So
I'm dying to see what it looks like on Switch, because that to me, that like Fortnite, it's difficult going from PC and PS4 to Switch because you feel the lag, like the FPS drop.
It's going to be a 30 frames thing for sure.
What concessions? Yeah, but I wonder if they could like make it 480p and make it 60 FPS, because that game I don't think will feel right with lag. But I mean, I don't know.
480p, you're not going to. You can be at 60 frames, but you won't see anyone until they're like right on you because it's so blurry.
It's true. Goddamn. It's true.
What else? Oh yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 delayed to November. Shocker. Shocker. I mean, I don't mind. It's really not a
look.
It's like 2 months delay, whatever. I think the big news here is that they made a big deal of saying, hey, if you buy it on current gen consoles, you will get the next gen upgrade for free, regardless of whether it's Xbox Series X or PS5. And the way they worded it made it sound like, at least for the PS5, like the way they were wording it was that they expected to be launching after the PS5 launched. So it's like, okay, so PS5 is launching somewhere like beginning of November, maybe October, stuff like that. So basically they said, it will make use of the more powerful aspects of the new consoles, but that a more substantial patch is coming next year for next gen consoles that will probably add, console specific features like ray tracing and stuff like that. I think what they mean by it's going to be compatible on your new consoles is like it will run a bit better, but it won't have like the fancy visual features. Yeah,
I also think so. But it's delayed, much to the woe of many fans.
And much to the relief of like games like Avengers that are now coming out in September. That game, we're getting a new look at that game, I think, this week. But man, I just can't get excited about that game. Like
I also. I mean, we've spoken about this plenty. It feels like it should have come out 2 years ago.
Like a live service game launching potentially a month before new consoles. It's just like, what are you doing?
It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we say that, but maybe the Avengers name and the Marvel name is big enough that it does really well regardless. You don't know. You don't know these things. You'll get people.
I'm willing to put money on it now that game does not do well.
It's not going to do well. I'm on the same page. I'll eat my words if it does do well.
New Crash Bandicoot game got leaked. It's pretty much. I think it's going to be revealed on Monday. Jeff Keighley is hosting a thing where he's like, big reveal coming. I think it's definitely going to be Crash Bandicoot.
I'm so stoked.
You have no idea. So this is the first numbered Crash Bandicoot sequel since Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. I mean, there have been sequels since then, but they never featured a number. But this one's
Yeah.
called Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time, which is funny, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, this one, the premise that was leaked on the ratings board is basically like there are, the mask that is Crash's friend. So they
Yes.
Ooga
Ooga
Booga, that guy. There's other masks that have appeared that are basically like from his race or his family. I don't know, they're masks. And it looks like you'll be able to use them in stuff.
As to give you
I hope it's good. Activision's
Okay.
Crash Bandicoots have been super missed for me, with some exceptions. But it's been done by the studio who remastered Spyro recently. So yeah, toys for Bob. We'll see. I think remaking a game is far easier than making a new entry because like even if you're remaking it from the ground up, you've got the designs and the level designs or whatever that if people are nostalgic for the thing, a new one suddenly gets compared to those. So it's far more challenging, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Nintendo also hosted a Pokemon Direct.
Being... I actually saw
Pokemon
that.
Snap.
Where did I have that? I had that open. Yeah, Pokemon Snap. Let's listen. Forget Pokemon Snap. So Pokemon Snap is about just taking photos of Pokemon. As far as I can tell,
like I think you build little tracks that you can like go on little like safari runs on, and that you document taking photos of Pokemon. I don't know. This game came out in 1999. I never played the original, so.
Okay, forget that. The real showcase piece, Pokemon Smile. Did you watch?
Brush your teeth with Pokemon.
A free mobile app, Pokemon Smile, will use augmented reality to encourage users to have a fun time brushing their teeth.
Yeah. I like that a lot. You know what I like about? I mean, it's mainly for kids and whatever, but I like the art style so much. I think the interpretation, like the very cartoony Pokemon, looks so cute.
They're adorable.
Yeah, cool. If it gets kids to brush their teeth more, sweet. Like, whatever, man. Pokemon Snap looks cool. I like the visual style. I think it's very realistic and cute. What was the other one? They revealed like a puzzle game. Yes.
Pokemon Cafe Mix.
So that's coming out to iOS, Android, and Switch. But it's like it looks like Disney's Tsum Tsum, which was like a puzzle game where it's a matching game, but the things move, almost like a claw game at an arcade. It looks cool. I also like the art style there. I like that there's a Squirtle, a French-looking Squirtle with a beret. That's very cute. I'm down for that. La Squirtle and La Charmander.
La Squirtle.
La Pikachu.
La Charmander.
Look at us,
La
knowing
Pikachu.
French.
Oh my God. Easiest
so
language
easy.
in the world. I think and there was some Pokemon Go news as well.
Yeah, there was. I've fallen off Pokemon Go, so I can't tell you. What that was.
Can't tell us nothing.
I think it was like new Pokemon are coming from the Galar region as well. Or I don't know. Don't know.
Okay.
Looking for other news here.
The Last of Us 2 has been a review bombed on Metacritic.
Fucking
which is always a great time. Allow me to read this excerpt from a Critical Hit article. From Cactua, who gave it a 0 out of 10. They wrote, "I don't like Gorilla. This game betrayed me. Naughty Dog just buy the media."
Cool.
That is a solid, well-researched review.
Nailed it. He nailed it. I mean, he captured my thoughts on the game entirely.
Cool, man. This part of Metacritic frustrates me because it's like the game had only been out not even an hour and all these things just started popping up. I'm like, how did these dudes finish this game?
It's just like, and also like...
It's something,
like,
man.
You know, if you don't want to play the game, fine. I don't think you can... I hate people that are like, the story is garbage and all they're basing that on is that leak that came out. And I've read that leak now since that I finished the game. And it is so high level. Like, it's correct. You know, it's right. But man, it doesn't do any justice. Of course it doesn't. Because it completely misses all the characterization. It's just like a broad strokes, like a Cliff Notes type of like, this is what the plot is, which entirely misses the point. Also, a lot of players seem to be super, super like angry at a scene, like a sex scene, which they think is one thing, which it really isn't. Like, a lot of people seem to think Abby is trans. She's not. She's a woman who's just very built.
Okay.
You know, and if that doesn't tickle your specific titillation, I'm very sorry, but God forbid that a woman like works out. I don't know. And then also I saw someone was like, how did she get that big in the apocalypse? It's like, are you fucking joking?
And push-ups
you can only
vanish
gym
in
at
apocalypse.
gyms. Yeah. Like, you fucking stupid.
Some people are just
it's clutching at every single straw. Like, I 100% welcome actual critique from the game. And that's not even like, I'm not saying you have to finish this 30-hour game to be able to critique it. No. But you should engage with it beyond a Cliff Notes version of its script that you don't agree with because, like, oh, it has lesbian characters or has a trans character or it's SJW politics of the... Fuck off. You know, honestly, like, engage with it beyond that surface level.
It's just the minority being full of shit.
And I kind of wish far less attention was paid to it because it makes it seem like the overwhelming majority, and it's really not. It's like, I know so many people who are playing this game and like having good opinions about it. Like, I'm not saying they're all loving it. Like, there are people that have issues with it already that I've seen that I understand. But like, to focus so much energy on this, like, I see so many people, games media, from IGN and stuff, replying to tweets at them from people who are like from accounts that have like 2 or 3 followers. Like, don't like amplify that. Why are you amplifying any of this stuff? It's
because they can. I don't know.
It's like everyone complains about, oh, people are being so shitty about this game without playing it. And it's like, yes, but you're helping the problem. Like, you are showing the world that these people exist. Like, just ignore them.
Move on.
Frustrates me, man. Frustrates me so much.
Good lord. So much anger.
I think that's mostly it. Yeah, I don't see anything. I can't also remember anything like super newsworthy that I saw. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3 looks really good.
It got an hour-long
gameplay trailer,
I think. I'm not
so it's coming out. Well, it's launching in early access in August, hopefully. They say hopefully because that's their current plan. They basically say, you know, things can change. And the scope of early access in August is going to be basically the same as Divinity Original Sin 2 when it launched in early access. So there's a lot. Sven Vinker, who's the creative director, said there's going to be a lot for you to do, you know, when the game launches.
I'm sure. But those games are... No, I'm sure, because those games are like very dense.
I really want to play Original Sin 2 eventually. But yeah.
Eventually.
Every time I watch gameplay from Baldur's Gate 3, I've never played a Baldur's Gate, but like the scope of like kind of like permutations they have for the combat is really staggering. Like, it feels like they've thought of everything.
Insane.
It's kind of special. It looks really cool. It looks like a game I really want to play. So yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, but I think that's mostly news.
We're going to head over to the questions.
Hour and 25. We've got to fly through questions. Yeah. While you're giving the rigmarole, I have to get my phone.
Oh, okay. If you want to send us questions on Matty's phone that he forgets to bring, you can email us at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also tweet at us. You can tweet at us at checkpointchat on Twitter. You can message us on Instagram at checkpointchat. On Facebook, facebook.com/checkpointchat. On TikTok, at checkpointchat.
And TikTok. I knew it.
Of course.
I knew you were going to say TikTok. Shame, Lupin's highly confused. He's like, why'd you get up?
He's like, why'd you get up? Where are you going? Are you coming back?
Okay. I literally moved over a meter to just reach over my phone.
It's like, what are you doing? I don't like this.
Good Lord. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, this is misnumbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 12
Sweet.
questions from Megs on email. So I think we'll see how far we get there. But let me just get on to Instagram.
I know we got another email from Deathbox.
Yes, I see. Oh, we do have another one there. Okay. So on Instagram, he says, "Why was this put up so late?" I'll tell you why, Deathbox. So I posted this yesterday, aka Saturday, because we're recording on Sunday and Instagram stories are 24 hours. If I put on a Friday, it'll disappear and I'll forget. So I put it up yesterday. And we have that's why it's late. We have a question from a one Lenska Tweedy. She says, "How do your girlfriend/wives handle all of your sass?"
This feels like
So can explain how Shani handles your sass, because I'm not sassy.
at
I'm
all.
lovely.
Like I feel like this is like a marital issue spilling over into the podcast. I think you need to stop being sassy.
It's actually from
wow. You're so angry about this question.
No, at the office I get told I'm very sassy. So one of my colleagues one day, she's like, "How does Lenska deal with all your sass?"
Are you like on a scale of 0 to Animal Crossing villager? How sassy are you?
I'm Animal Crossing villager. It's not my fault I speak my mind. Is that a bad thing? You can't silence the truth.
Sassy asshole.
But the reality is that Lenska encourages my sass.
I feel like she would give it back to you. Yeah.
She does. She really does. I think we're equal parts.
I think you level each other out. Like you're sassy. Okay. She's like, "Oh, is this how it's going to be? Cool. Let's go."
Okay. Nice. Okay, I see your sass and I raise it 3,000
when you put down the +2 card and then someone puts down the +4. She's like, "Fuck."
And then she puts down the +4
and then you just hit a reverse.
I just play it right back. I hit a reverse and she's like, "Oh God." And then she puts a +4. I'm like, "God damn it, when will this end?" And I put down a skip turn and it's straight back to her.
That's how the sass works, yeah.
Oh, Uno. Okay, so on email from Jaden, he says, "How are you guys doing on the DLC of level 3? Throwback to a few episodes ago and mentioning Funko Pops and such in my case. At Sandy, see attached pic for my case that is a cooler larger than life itself." So you must look at the email. He's got his little picture here. That is a big ass cooler.
Wait, a cooler is in like a PC cooler.
You could.
A
PC cooler, yeah.
Oh shit! That is a big. It looks like a. It's a Cooler Master. You know that these ones. I mean, generally they are a bit louder, but they cool your CPU better than water cooling. Yep.
Oh, really? Well, I can see based on the size of that. I do like that
he's got like toys in his PC case. I think that's. I mean, that fucks with your airflow. I'm just gonna say that, but looks cool.
Well, it's funny. He preempted that because he said, "Speaking of cooling, here's a video showing how airflow in your case basically means nothing."
He got me.
For those listening, just YouTube search cable management. Does it affect cooling? And there you go. Oh, he actually does have a question. He says, "Besides me buying Assassin's Creed, like me, Matthew, buying Assassin's Creed, did you guys blow any cash on the Epic sale? I got some Borderlands 3. Thankfully, I'm so poor I can't pay attention because I could have spent a lot more money than that."
I bought nothing.
What did you buy on the Epic sale?
I legitimately bought nothing during that sale. I already had... You see, I'd bought Borderlands 3 on a previous sale and I still haven't played it, so I was like...
Still haven't played that?
So
yeah,
there was really nothing there that I should have probably bought like Satisfactory because everyone keeps talking about that game, but like I also don't know when I'm going to play it, so...
Satisfactory.
And Epic has so many sales, so I didn't even make use of that $10 coupon. RIP coupon.
Damn it, you missed out.
Yeah, RIP coupon.
Okay, let us dive into the millions of emails from Good Guy Megs. He says, question 1. Alessandro, you kind of moaned that no one knew about the game you backed called Little Devil Inside. In future, why don't you mention about games you backed and perhaps any other games on Kickstarter?
I legitimately forgot I had backed it.
Oh, sorry. When he says Fig, I think
it's
of
the
me,
other.
but
I
he
think
means
I
the
think you
actual
can't back
platform.
things on Fig
Yeah,
unless you're a
okay.
company. I think that's the whole point of Fig. As far as I know, it's like a
okay.
venture capitalist like shareholder fund. I don't think it's like a Kickstarter where everyone can back it. That's how I understand it. I might be wrong. I legitimately forgot I'd backed Little Devil Inside until I saw that trailer again. I was like, oh fuck yeah, this game. Because I just resigned myself to the fact that this game was probably never coming out because I backed it like in 2015. So, and the backer updates had kind of like dried up. So I was like, well, that's 300 Rand I'm never getting back.
Okay then.
But yeah. Now I'll get a PC code, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, and you can play it like, damn, this game's real good.
Cool.
Good thing I backed it like 10 years ago.
Something like that.
Okay. Question 2. Matthew, about 2 weeks ago, you mentioned about your Final Fantasy VII Remake musical issues on YouTube that are kept being removed, and you went back to searching
that reminds me, I need
once
to play
again.
that game.
You could easily solve this problem through 3 methods. Number 1, buy physically or digitally at the following location. I mean, I know that. Listen to it on Spotify.
Wait, is it on Spotify?
Link. I've looked up. It's not on Spotify. It's just covers on Spotify.
When people put up a playlist and you're like, oh, this is it, and it's just covers?
It's look, I have nothing against covers, but it's not the OG. And the OG is just that good. And then number 3, download an offline copy, although Alessandro would object to this and simply buy it for you as a birthday present. Look, I've stopped listening to it. I think I'm going to give it a break, but I will get back to it, and maybe by then it'll be on Spotify. I don't know. And yes, you should really play Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I platinumed.
Did you get the platinum?
Monday morning.
Nice.
I did, yeah. It's a good time. Casual.
Look at
80
me.
hours
I have the chance to finally play
it.
Final Fantasy, and I start Bloodborne again.
Yeah, you make me so
You
mad.
make me sick.
You know what though? I can't be mad because when I saw you playing Bloodborne, I was like, I should just drop everything and play Bloodborne
and
again.
You haven't even played the DLC.
100% get it.
So good.
I haven't played the DLC. Good Lord. Question 3. When the pandemic ends and the post-COVID-19 era begins, what will you still continue doing even though it is now safe to not do it anymore? As in, a vaccine has been made or COVID-19 is eradicated. Continue wearing masks outdoors would be on my list. I like the semi-disguise it provides. Using hand sanitizer after every store visit and whenever I enter my car. This I've been doing for the past 4 years.
That I'll probably do because I was never doing that and never like really paying attention to how many germs are on my hands. So probably washing my hands more often. Yeah, probably that.
I think I wash my hands enough, but I think I touch my face a lot as well. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think I'm just become more mindful of the fact that my hands touch everything. My hands touch
my eyes the surface of my phone, which is apparently super gross.
Yeah. I'm amazed by like people who like I've got nothing against hand sanitizer or whatever, but you get people who are like specifically very strict about being clean, but then like they never clean their phones.
Do you scroll on Twitter while you're taking a poop? Your phone's got poop particles on it.
Sis, I'm never going using my phone.
Do you play
on the
Switch
again.
on the loo? Your Switch has got poop particles. No.
I know. Alessandro, a while back you mentioned your displeasure with watching Birds of Prey.
What?
Have you tried out Harley? What?
Birds of Prey is in like the DC movie. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah. Did you? Oh, well then,
maybe
I don't know. Maybe it makes
I said I hated Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what he's referring to. But he says, have you tried out Harley Quinn that is on DC Universe? I definitely am enjoying it much more than Birds of Prey.
Darren keeps telling me that it's really good, and I have heard it's really good, and I do want to watch it. It's an animated Harley Quinn series, and it's apparently super cool. I do want to watch it, yeah. But I really like Birds of Prey. I did not like Suicide Squad. I thought Birds of Prey was tons of fun. It's still not like
I haven't seen.
It's not on the Marvel level of action hero movies, but I think it's one of the stronger DC ones. It's just loads of fun. I thought it was awesome. Yeah.
It's a good time. Question 5. As things ramp up for the PlayStation 5 launch and some of its exclusive games have been revealed, will you buy on launch day? At the moment, it's a big nope, regardless of the price. The games I'm interested in, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 and Returner, aren't being launched on release day, so getting one now would be pointless.
You see that name is
then.
bad. It's not
Perhaps
Returner, it's Returnal. It's a fucking terrible name.
Perhaps there'll be a discounted bundle with Horizon Zero Dawn 2 included in 2021 sometime, or I'll wait for the PS5 Slim. See, it's tricky because I really, like I've said many times, I'm in a position that I can buy a PS5 on launch now, if I really wanted to. But you've made a good point in that there's actually not much launching on it. And for the PS3 and PS4, I waited.
You waited a long time for the PS4 as well.
The right... yeah, I mean, the PS4 I got in... No, I waited 2 years. Which is still, it's a long time. I missed out on those first years of exclusive. Yeah, because the PS2 came out in 2013, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, 2015. Yeah, because I'm thinking about
and then
when I went to Gamescom, which was 2015. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's
when you got it, because that's when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. Yeah.
Yeah, so on that note, I mean, how many times have you seen a limited edition PlayStation going, oh shit, like that would have been, like I own a PlayStation, I'm not going to rush out and buy another one. Like I'm in 2 months of, unless there's something really good on launch, I'll wait for, like I'm pretty sure there'll be a Horizon Zero Dawn limited edition. Or maybe there'll be a Demon Souls limited edition, or a
They'll
Bloodborne
just make the
2
PS5
limited edition
look
when
like
it launches.
Tower Knight's Shield.
That is such a good image. Am I weird? But I don't know. Like, I have to see, Megs. I can't tell you yes or no because there's nothing that's making me rush out to buy on launch day. Like, even if it is 10,000 rand or 12 or 15,000 rand, like I need to wait and see.
Yeah, I think you should.
I don't want to.
I think everyone's thinking it's going to be less than 10 grand locally, and I'm like, especially with these comments coming from Sony. I think it was Jim Ryan, who's president of PlayStation. He was like, we are focused on value over price. I'm like, that sounds like you're making a very expensive console to me. I don't know. Like, I'm a very stupid person when it comes to techno things. Like, I buy things at launch even though I don't use. Like, last generation, I imported an Xbox One, which was really fucking stupid in hindsight because, like, there were no games locally. I wasn't really downloading games. So I really didn't use that thing for a long time. And ended up buying a PS4 when Bloodborne launched. I remember buying a bundle because it had the game and an extra controller. And I was like, oh, man, remember. And that was like
that's the sort of bundle.
What a time to be alive.
Oh, my God. What a time to be alive.
But yeah, so I definitely will buy a console at launch. Like, it will happen. I don't know which one. But launch lineups always suck. They always have. They always will. Do not fight over launch lineups. They're stupid.
Yeah, they're dumb. Question, I think this is actually 6. Since we have reached over 100 episodes now, it's time to ask the following question. Who came up with the name Checkpoint Chat? Was it a joint effort or a singular effort with a party agreeing, or was it a third party that came up with it? I can confirm that I had nothing to do with the name. I think you came up with it. It was
actually a name I had for a long time. Even before I thought about starting the podcast. When I was working at Cliff Central, they were asking about a change to the name of the show that I was working on there. And at the time, I thought of the name just Checkpoint because I thought that was cool. So I always had that in my mind. Yeah. And then when we started, that came up again. But then I realized that Checkpoint was actually the name of a video game non-profit organization in the States. Helps people, I think it's for mental illness or something. They do streams and they're a big charity. So, and their name is Checkpoint. So I was like, I don't want to do that. So Checkpoint Chat was the next thing.
Yeah.
And I like the name. I think I just pitched it to you one day. I was actually driving to work and you were like, that sounds cool. I was like, sweet.
I had no names. I was like, cool. My only contribution was like, I want the logo to have yellow.
And I think that was I think yellow as our brand identity has worked out very well because I like it a lot as well. You've turned me over to the yellow side. Yeah.
To the yellow side. Question 7. Alessandro, have you bought Persona 4 Gold and Steam Edition yet? Have you persuaded Matthew to buy a copy as well, or will you loan him your Vita plus Vita edition of the game instead? when will you replay the game? Perhaps make an updated perspective review out of it in comparison to Persona 5 Unroyal.
I'm not gonna buy it on
I need to
Steam
play
because
Persona
I have it
4.
on Vita, and it's the same game. And I honestly, if I can play it on the go, that's far better for me. I also have one of those stupid PlayStation TVs, so I could play it on my monitor if I really wanted to. You should definitely buy Persona 4. It's fucking awesome, especially if you haven't played 5 yet. I think it's definitely worth playing 4 because 5 makes so many gameplay improvements that going back to 4 would be very difficult.
Thank you.
So I think 4 has got a better cast and a better story, and I really like it, and you should play it if you haven't played it. But I don't know if I'll play it
one day
again soon. I mean, I still haven't played Persona 5 Royal, so yeah. But if you don't have a Vita, it's awesome that it's on PC because you can now play it, so that's cool.
It's a good time, yeah. Question 9. Matthew, you mentioned you got out of Animal Crossing for the time being or forever. Does this mean that Super Uber Lenska's Animal Crossing The Void alone? I think I haven't stopped playing Animal Crossing. I'm playing it a lot less. I still check in every day just to get my daily item, whatnot. But yes, Lenska's actually been so busy that we hardly made a profit on our turnips yesterday. We had good guy Bester tell us that he has turnips at 139, which is hardly a profit, but a profit is a profit.
I just saw a pen appear in the camera. It's like someone was trying to stab you. Oh,
it's me waving my pen.
I thought Lenska was trying to stab you or something.
I have a habit of just holding stuff.
So you're Portuguese?
Like I like.
Yeah.
I'm Portuguese.
I know
that a
talking
Portuguese
with
thing?
your hands is a Portuguese thing.
Oh, yes. Speaking of Portuguese, did Frank send you... So, listener
Frank Mourinho.
Good guy Frank.
Jose Mourinho's brother.
Did he send you a screenshot of a conversation he had with his mum during the week?
I don't think so, no.
No. So remember last week I was telling you about you saying like the gas heater makes my eyes dry, and I said put a bowl of water in front of it, and he even messaged us saying like, oh, is that a thing?
Yes.
Because his eyes also getting dry from the gas heater. He sent me a conversation he had with his mum where his mum's like, why didn't you come fetch the gas canister? He's like, no, like I don't like the gas heater. It makes my eyes dry, basically. She replied, have you tried putting a bowl of water in front of it? So I replied to him like, there's clearly some Portuguese wisdom going around here. Like that
since we had that conversation, I've done that. It helps. 100% helps.
Does it help? Okay. We're not mad. I just laughed. I'm like, do the Portuguese get together?
We all have
like
our old
some secret meetings where they just pass this knowledge between each other. Like, yes, if you get dry eyes, just put a bowl of water in front.
If there was ever a Portuguese assassins in Assassin's Creed, our memories would be so weird. Like, the ancestral memories that you explore in the Animus would just be like stupid shit.
Well, on that note, that would actually be very cool to explore some part of Portuguese history in Assassin's Creed.
I would 100% play an Assassin's Creed where you are an assassin who sits on the windowsill and looking out, and it's a tower defense game. Just like all the old ladies in Portugal that just sit on their window the whole day and look at people walking by.
And you throw cabbages.
It's the security cameras.
Wow.
That's Portuguese security cameras. I'm not racist. I'm Portuguese.
Goddamn. Never know. You know, we are Portuguese. Question 10. These are so out of order, the numbers. Matthew, when will you be playing an old game you have never played before? Let us know about it instead of doing Celeste Hardy Hard mode.
Hardy Hard mode.
I actually need to play is it Meat Boy or Super Meat Boy?
You'll get super sucked into that. Really good. Talk about a soundtrack. Yeah.
But that being said, I really want to replay Celeste on hard mode. I want to platinum that game, man. I need to get it. Okay, next question. Alessandro with Outer Wilds now on Steam for R100 special price. Should I give it a shot? What are the chances of me refunding it before the 2-hour limit? Have you brought it already?
I have it on Epic Game Store and on Xbox because it's part of Game Pass.
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds is super good.
Goddamn.
I also think 2 hours is not enough to really get a grip with what that game is. I think R100 is more than it's like low enough that you can like be like after 10 hours if you really don't like this game, then whatever, fuck it. But that game does not 2 hours is not enough to get a handle on that game. and it does have a slow start, and I know a lot of people have been put off by the start, but I cannot stress enough that game goes into like unbelievably wondrous places, and it is just such a special journey. It's so good. Super good.
I need to play it. I know, to play it one day.
Umar, a friend on Twitter, he recently played it because it came out on PS4, and he was the same. I think I saw him at the beginning going, what is this game? This is so weird, whatever. And he eventually just got to a point where he was just like, oh my God, like this is just such a special thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
This is a good time.
It's really,
I need to play it.
Really, really cool.
One day. Good Lord. Okay, last question. Wow, that actually went a lot quicker than I thought it would.
Master of questions, Matty
I've
Figueroa.
just lost the question. Oh, there we go. Alessandro, are you still throwing away cold tea coffee since this was last mentioned on the podcast? Do you throw away cold food as well?
I feel like someone's
just
angry.
Kidding.
I often just drink my cold tea now. Yeah, if it's like super cold and I'm like not just keen on it, I'll throw it away. I'm not a monster who puts it in a microwave and reheats it. Like, who does that? Darren.
Hey, I warm my coffee. What are you talking about? I warm my coffee. I don't know. I don't do tea.
I'll drink my cold tea. I don't mind.
What do you
it's
have
like
against
iced tea? I don't fucking. Who cares?
Yo, if tea goes cold, you just add ice and it's iced tea. I mean, like, what's the problem here?
Tea also gets really cold really quickly now because this winter is so freezing. Yeah,
it is
so cold. But
cold.
Yeah.
But that's all the questions.
Do you throw away your tea, Matty?
All damn questions. No, I never let it.
Some
I
of
never
us
let
aren't
it get
perfect,
cold. So what can I say? You're just imperfect. You're not alone. It happens. It happens. Okay, but that is all the questions.
If you want to send us questions like Migs and is it Jaden or Deathbox? I don't know which one.
Jaden. It's the same
Jaden
person.
Box.
They're the same thing.
If you want to send us questions, you can email us checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can message us on all the social platforms at any point, at any time. You don't need to wait for Matty to put up an Instagram story. At Checkpoint Chat on Instagram, at Checkpoint Chat on Twitter, Checkpoint Chat Podcast. Oh, sorry. Facebook.com/Checkpoint Chat. Checkpoint Chat on TikTok. Send us your TikToks. I saw a cool TikTok. I think I sent it to you a while back where someone recreated the Harry Potter theme song on a washing machine. It was very good.
Yeah,
I laughed so much.
That is so good.
It's so good. And then at the end, he gets like shuffled into like a little.
How bored are
like,
you?
Yeah, underneath
into
the stairs.
Cupboard.
So good.
Like that. That
to synchronize, holy shit! Yeah, because it's so good. It's really, really something. And it's like a remix.
Really
it's like
good.
this punchy like washing machine EDM. I don't know.
Good time. EDM, geez, like.
Could you imagine a millennial Hogwarts? That'd be so weird.
That's all the.
What social media do wizards use?
That's doing what? Owls.
Seems slower than Twitter, but okay.
That's it. That's the punchline. Would they tweet? That's it. The owls tweet. Okay. Literally. There you go.
So when they want to tweet, the owl
tweets.
pulls out a smartphone and sends a tweet. That's the magic.
The owl just goes, whoo.
It sounds far less toxic than normal Twitter, so I'll take it.
What'd you say about my mother?
That's been episode 104 of Checkpoint Chat. I've just realized now that when I restarted Audacity, I didn't open the project, so I haven't saved my file.
You're my heart. I was like, oh no, we're going to have to re-record.
I'll be so sad.
I see. I saved this time. I learned from my sins of last week. Sure, that's the episode.
What, episode 104?
You look very stressed now.
But thank you so much for listening.
It'll be fine.
We will see you next week for 105 stuff. That's how counting Dalmatians. Yes, that's how counting works. Have a great
10
week.
out of 10. Oh my
Stay
God.
warm. So cold.
Yeah. You too.
Okay, bye.
And goodbye.